Without further ado, it's time for New Sports, written produced by Victor Allen, his own neo-urban look at sports. Hot, sexy. Here's the man the ladies call sexual chocolate. Here's Vic.
We're gathered here today. Let me get my napkin. You know, I'm in the pulpit. You know, first you brush your brow and you say, "Welcome to New Sports."
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen. Amen for the New Sports. Okay.
Amen for the new.
Can I sit there and say, "No heathens in the balcony"? Right?
No heathens.
Thank you.
No heathen rhythms.
Wipe the brow. Okay, you guys. Welcome to New Sports, you guys. It's all good in the neighborhood, and there's only one subject I want to talk about today. There may be two or three.
There's only one? You got a lot of writing here for one damn subject.
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. I just want you to understand. There's one subject I want to talk about.
Oh, there's one subject. You said,
yeah, see, you have to pay attention.
You said only one subject.
That I want to talk about. But I have to tell you about the trending tweets. And we have to cover them because probably one of the biggest one as it relates to maybe not the hottest story, but an ongoing story is going to be the Joe Paterno legacy because he passed away, of course. And it's going to be the question of his legacy. We'll come to it in a minute, not yet. Also, of course, the Giants defeat San Francisco and Eli Manning. We're going to question,
yay,
is he an elite player? Yes, he is. He delivered. The other Patriots favored over the Giants, 3 points, excuse me.
That's not much.
That's not much. But you know what?
Somebody got to be favored.
Yeah, somebody. Okay. And, of course, Serena Williams, no Americans left in tournament. It seems we are... Here's a question before we get to it. The pulse of the pro tennis world. If the Americans are not in the top field, does it still have the same marketing and glamour?
No, because
impact?
the fashions will suffer.
Right.
I was just thinking how much I enjoy looking at the Williams girls. I just wonder, how many folks are like me that love looking at them because they are such specimens? That's why we like to look at athletes anyway sometime to me.
No, I agree.
They're such specimens. But I just like looking at them and the fact that they're doing this fashion. And lately, the whole thing has been about Serena, about her lack of a love life. So now I'm really interested, Vic. I'm curious. And now that you're ousted, what you gonna be doing in your spare time, girlfriend? And
we're gonna come back to that because unfortunately, Serena, you have to win to stay in, and right now the only thing that's in is the NFC, AFC championship games, and we're gonna ask which game between the two was the best game between the two because they were both close games and they both had such wonderful game. You think the Ravens game was the best?
Yeah,
game? You think so?
Yeah,
you think so?
The Ravens Patriots game.
Okay.
I mean, they were both good games.
You see what?
It's just that the Ravens game had like 2 minutes of three shockers in a row, kind of, right?
Right.
The shocker that touchdown pass was not. Then you had the fact that they got down there to get to be able to make close enough. That wonderful catch and run that led to them getting close enough for a field goal. Right. And then the absolute letdown as they missed the field goal. So that was such a that was a down, up, down.
Right.
And I was roller coastering, and that was too much.
Well, let me just say this.
I had to go have another mojito.
Well, let me just say this. I feel kind of like what this young man is feeling over here in this Ravens jersey.
That's what I'm saying. That's
okay.
Oh, man.
He looks like...
That's what I said, down, up, down.
And here's the thing. You have the young lady sitting up there going like, we feel different than the friend of ours here to our right. We're happy. He's choking himself. Let me tell you why I think he's choking himself. And I have 3 reasons, which I thought were 3 goals the Ravens needed to accomplish in order to win the game. And I said, Baltimore Ravens accomplished 3 things in order to win. Unfortunately, those 3 things they accomplished didn't get them over the hump. The 3 things were, number 1, you had to contain and disrupt Tom Brady. They did.
No touchdown passes.
No touchdown. Not at all. Number 2, Joe Flacco has to step up, and he did.
He did. He certainly quieted his detractors.
That's
Can we
right.
say that? I don't think he was. He said he didn't play worse or better. He said that's the way he plays all the time. And I think, well, not totally true.
Right. Let me say this. The 3rd one, no turnovers. Now, you take those 3 things and you pull them into a competition with the Patriots, you should come out winning. What they did not kind of put in the mix, special teams. Special teams.
Special teams.
That's the kicker.
And some special calls
right.
on some special plays.
Right. Now, wait, questionable. Let me say this.
I'm not saying either way, but I'm just saying it could have been either way.
Lee Evans getting the ball knocked out in the
right. That's exact.
That's a questionable call because you have to really. Let me say this.
It's not challengeable, Vic.
It can be, but they didn't have a lot of time. And
what do you mean they have a lot of time?
No. Let me say this.
You have time to challenge it?
Well, see, the part that we're getting into is it's the time left so you can use the challenges. And I thought they were going to use a challenge there. I really did. I thought that if they didn't use a challenge, they can get a timeout.
I don't know if it was. See, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
We have to find. I'm not sure if it is challengeable.
The bowl, right? And I'm not sure. So even if it's that, the idea that it didn't get reviewed,
whatever. Yeah, somehow it didn't get reviewed and
right.
still seemed to be a travesty.
Right, but
at least that deserved looking at.
Thank you to buy time. To buy time. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't take any time off the clock.
Right. See, my whole thing is it seemed like it was a rush to it. So let me just say. That's a total of 10 points to me that was thrown in the bucket given to the Patriots. The missed field goal, the possible TD catch, of course, the strip. So, in a way, the Ravens brought everything. They did. They brought the formula.
They did what they had to do.
They just never thought that special teams would be the issue.
Even though, like I said, and special teams, and some things can't be planned for. It's the calls got to go one way or another.
Right.
And you named about 10 points.
Yes.
So
you can't give New England 10 points, even if it's a throwaway or consideration. They played such a great. This is the best game. I had to sit there and say, name a game that Tom Brady threw no touchdowns, and you go into the playoffs and say the Ravens did exactly what they said they wanted to do. I think they exceeded their expectations by saying we expect him to score at least one touchdown, maybe two, but zero.
And to actually statistically have Flacco perform better. Statistically.
Let me say
that, which only is at best a partial story.
Now, here's the thing, Mark, you hit the nail on the head here, because here's the part of the statistics that makes it interesting. Both quarterbacks were 22 of 36, 61% completion rate.
Really?
Both quarterbacks.
Wow.
So you have to think about that.
I do, Vic. I have to. That gives me pause.
That gives you more than a pause. It gives you may throw in an enema. Okay.
No, I don't
okay. But Brady throws.
Tighten it up.
Brady throws two. Brady throws two touchdown passes. I mean, two interceptions.
Right, and you know what?
Flacco.
That shows you his experience. Is how he hung in there. That didn't disturb him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what? It was a wonderful day of football.
Right. Let me just say this. When you look at it and say, Joe stepped up, Tom Brady didn't. Of course, Flacco had one interception.
I mean, Tom Brady played a good game. I mean, he did, Vic. He didn't have one of his great games. But I mean, in other words,
rushing TD. That's the only thing he had.
But like I said, the intent. I don't judge it all. It wasn't his best day, but it certainly was enough. And there's leadership when things are going tough, and that's what I'm judging on another level.
Right.
How you persevere on the day when things aren't going well for you. How you continue to play when your jump shot is not going down. All those kind of things,
You
right?
sound like one of them damn Singletary coaches.
That's right. Strap on it. How you perform when you don't have that Viagra on you. You don't have to go to Plan C.
He sounds like the coach that's giving
What do you do there, gentlemen?
The pre-speech before the game.
You cut your own throat. That's what you do.
All right. Now you got that off his chest. This was a great game. T-Sizzle, I am so sorry about it because you guys delivered. And Ray Lewis said he will be coming back next year. I think it was a no-brainer. He's coming back because this game defines, Ray Lewis. He wants to be
come
on
back
the phone
as long as you can.
Yeah, he's going to do what he can, but it's going to be hard to get back there when they go. The biggest thing was Joe Flacco, and now he said, I stepped up. Now what happened? Mario, think about this.
So wonderful individual plays.
Billy Cundiff, the kicker. Now, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to get to the next story.
I refuse to throw everything on one person.
I didn't say that. I said, here's the part where they say,
man, what a bad kick.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this all day long. I know how much work I have to do. I'm going to say this all day long, consciously to myself. All day. It says, I know people who work their butts off and probably make, if they're lucky, $50,000 a year. You make 7 figures a year. Okay? Now, I'm going to sit up here and say this. The exception is, you're supposed to step up. This is a field goal after point, okay? This is after a touchdown field goal. 32 yards. You want to give him a pass?
I don't want to do what you guys want to do.
Okay, well, what do you want to give him? What do you want to give him?
I'm just saying everybody had, you know what? Remember Jack? Okay, there's some key players that I remember in history.
Well, don't go back before I was born.
But I'm just saying to have your career scarred by one of these bad plays, Vic. I try hard not to give into it. You know, there's a bunch of key players we know who had wonderful careers. Remember Jackie dropping that pass in the end zone?
Yeah. Dallas
Cowboys. Okay, there's a bunch of bad people who had great careers who had bad moments. I just don't want to.
They say
I don't want to, Vic.
Wait.
I don't want to go there for this.
I'm gonna say this. Rate scale of impact of the kicker, 1 to 10.
I don't want to go there.
You
Vic.
see, you're not being objective.
Is that more important than the bad call on the play on the touchdown?
I'll say this. I'm gonna say. Or
how about the overthrow pass touchdown? There's a bunch of plays that could have been. See, woulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I say this. I know when there's a judgment on the field about things coming together at a certain point. I understand.
PFC is no mercy.
Right. When Lee Evans says, "Man, he knocked the ball out of my hand," but when they do the replay, he did not take two full steps exactly. Can go either way. You're talking about a man going like this, a chip shot. After touchdown, field goal, distance shot straight, and not only did you miss it, you missed it way bad.
Can I ask my NFL followers to embrace forgiveness?
No.
For one moment, can we look at the field goal kicker and think, there but for the grace of God go I? And Vic is right. He must suffer with his $1 million salary.
Right, more than $1 million.
But still, he can't go out to Chili's. He can't go to Krispy Kreme, nor can he visit Starbucks because he missed a field goal.
He missed the field goal, man.
Let's just say, Vic,
what? See, let me say this.
Can we just forgive?
Watch this. Let this be
and
Kobe
embrace love
and
Vic.
Politics. He would not be saying this. He's forgiving now.
I too
forgive
Kobe.
All right,
I forgive the Lakers.
We're going to the next game. We're going into the next game.
Even though the Lakers record.
You're not participating. Let's take you to the next game because obviously Billy's going to have some problems through the offseason.
He can't go. I told you, he can't go to Krispy Kreme.
He's going to have some problems.
He can't go no damn where. His kids are looking at him like,
"This is
Daddy,
over.
I can't go to school.
I can't do anything."
No, everybody just going on vacation.
Yeah. See, the whole part is I said, you know, what's worse than
it's over.
What's worse than get in the ring as a boxer and then get knocked out.
Screwed.
I said, there's nothing worse than you coming off and says, you know, you got knocked out. So you get no.
Even his friends are like sitting. Only his most trusted friends are like, well, let's not go out. Let's just stay at the pad.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, we'll just stay at the pad.
It's done.
Have some brews.
Let's go to the next game, the one where I said the quarterback to me who took the biggest hits, the biggest pounding, and he was not even, I mean, he just kept bouncing up. Eli Manning, I mean, I'm sorry. When it came versus Alex Smith.
I didn't realize he was hit 20 times.
20 times, sacked 6 times, and he kept bouncing up.
That's like sex. Same number. Sacked 6 times, hit 20.
Okay.
That's at our age.
Hey, well, yeah, I'm leaving that part alone, man. I'm leaving that part alone.
And then we also have a couple turnovers.
All right. Well, let me just say this.
One.
We're going to find out because we know. Let me say this. This game, you know, I felt for San Francisco. Let me tell you why I thought it was better for the Giants to go up against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Although I've never seen this season the front seven like the San Francisco Giants put on far as the pain and punishment against the Giants.
Man, wasn't that something else the way they were coming?
They were the linebackers untouchable. The best linebacking
wait till
crew.
next year.
Oh, done.
And the defensive line too.
Yes.
Man, they were coming with the real surge action.
Oh man, you know what? And let me tell you why.
Man, I was impressed.
They were I watched the secondary. The secondary is very good. Speedy. They're very confident in their coverages. They did a wonderful. Matter of fact, they are better to me defensively. Between their secondary and defensive line. The Giants may be better in their front four. But when it comes to the balance, they are tight. The problem that I looked at, I said, you don't want this team going against New England because to go 0-10 in third down conversions, and you can't convert offensively, and there were throws there that Alex Smith had that he could not convert. That's not the way you're going to win the Super Bowl if you go.
That's what it comes down to. But you know what? That's the exact kind of stuff that often changes game to game.
It does.
You know, that's where the football fairies are out there, whatever.
You said fairies?
Yeah. You know, they live. Ogres eat them.
Wait a minute.
They,
I've never heard anybody use reference to fairies.
I'm just saying, you never heard of the football. See, that's probably why y'all didn't do well. Because you weren't paying homage to the football fairies.
Sorry. I'm not going to use that.
See, that's why y'all don't win. Because you don't pay enough homage to the football fairies. Damn it. See, it's a secret.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Well, that's why San Francisco does ahead. Well, because obviously in San Francisco they have a lot more football fairies.
I'm sorry.
You didn't know that.
Look.
And by time, that's why San Francisco did well. Because all year long they've enlisted the football fairies in San Francisco.
I gotta use
they have a wonderful sense of fashion and cheers.
I got to use this. Okay, I need the napkin. Hold on a second. I just never heard about it. Football fairies. That's so good, man. It's
in San Francisco, you can laugh, but some of them look like them San Francisco linebackers.
Right.
Just different voice and they wonderful dance routines.
Okay, now let me do this because I got to go back. I got to go back to something there because I forgot to give the assignment on it, and I want to go back first and say we're going to assign because such wonderful games. Let me go back to first the.
Man, what's wrong with your visual aid here?
Oh, wait a minute.
What's the problem? Everybody, take a look at this visual aid shit. Right, we get to look like Eli Manning's crotch.
Now watch this.
Alex Smith's knees.
Now Mario,
I'm just saying, what's with your visual aid?
Mario, watch this. Look to your screen to your left.
What?
Right there. Look at the screen.
Okay.
Now see, it depends on your screen.
No, you still get to look at the same screen. Everybody, look what he's showing you guys. You got Eli Manning's crotch. Right here, you wondering why this is the new Sportz.
See, you got to pull it. He ain't pulling it up. All right. Here's the thing.
What do you mean I got to put your ratings, rate the QB performance?
We're not going there yet, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
See, you just ahead of the game.
No, okay. Well, I'm trying to make your visual aids fit.
Well, I just want you to know, man, bring it down for a second. I want to show you something.
Down or up?
See the man in the suit back there? He's with Secret Service. He's actually there to actually take in the losing quarterback and have them lost in some island out in the Pacific.
He look like he can run.
Okay. All right, let me go over here first. Before we go over here to these other stats, let me just say this. Balling, something for the ladies, big pimping, New England. You got to give them what? Were they big pimping? Were they balling? You know, come on now. Give me something, Mario. What do you think? What do you think?
They were balling. They were balling the big pimps.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, the Ravens in a loss. What would you give them? In a loss now. I want you to understand.
You know what?
This is hard.
Man, and it was such a marvelous effort.
It is.
It's so bad to have that flip on you. That's why I get caught up. Are we supposed to say that because they had that last ending that all was for naught? So that's the problem I have, Vic. As an athlete, I'm just saying, you pour yourself out like that. Right. And then to have that ending, it's almost so tragic.
Right.
It's more tragic for you than it is wonderful for them.
I agree. I agree.
So I don't know what to say. I just feel like, man, let down.
There you go.
Let down.
There you go. That
cut your throat. Cut your own. Cut your own.
It was a let down.
Cut your throat.
You know, as much as they balled, as much as they were big pimping,
I'm brokenhearted for them.
I am too. I'm just saying.
I'm brokenhearted.
It's the part where you go, they were balling. They were big pimping. I knew women who loved the Ravens. They loved them. Says, I love the men. I love how they play, their attitude, something for the ladies. But in the end, Billy Cundiff, the kicker.
Oh, come on, no, Vic. I'm not going to
let them down.
I'm not summarizing it like that's Vic's summary. That's his show.
Excuse me.
It ain't I'm not putting it on Billy.
Billy?
Bullshit.
Okay.
It's that touchdown and other mixed pass. No, Vic, that's cold. No, I ain't doing that. No. Y'all cold with that shit. Blame everything in the whole game on Billy Cundiff.
Name somebody else on the team.
Oh, look at PMC is like...
That's right.
I'm not blaming. Okay. I'm sorry. Y'all stand. PFC is dumping them in the creek.
Okay. If there's more than one other individual.
I'm not going there.
Well, let me just ask. If there's more than one other individual that's responsible and contributed to their loss on the Ravens, who would it be, if anybody?
I don't like to do that because I think that's impossible.
I'm not asking you who you like.
I just say there were drop passes There were passes that were not completed. There are other things that occurred, you guys. I just can't go there. I'm sorry. And I agree. PMC's on his ass.
See, let me say this.
I thought you was obviously
Watch
PMC
this.
was rooting for San Francisco.
Well, let me say this. Hey, you guys. Let there be a moment to reference Obama or Gingrich and watch Mario sit back and throw. He would throw everything, the desk, and the future commentary under his strong opinion. Come on, man. I
refuse to ever let things. That's always a matter of perspective to me. Whenever they say one person did or didn't it in football, it's never one person in football. It just isn't.
There's never. Is the presidency guided by one man?
No.
See, so where you
by the other people, PMC can answer that about who runs the world. The Illuminati.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Strike out.
So let me just say
this. That's Conspiracy Wednesday.
Let me just say this. Okay, now that we don't get his cooperation because he refuses to vote.
Because y'all try to throw somebody underneath the bus.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's go over to the Giants and the San Francisco game. Let's just say before we get into, which we already covered, the Eli Manning getting sacked 6 times, hit 20 times. Did San Francisco straight out ball, big pimping, something for the late across the board? What did they do, in your opinion? Because Eli, to me, is big pimping. He's big pimping.
There were things that didn't go well, but I still thought both. I thought it was good. Because you're playing exceptional teams, right. I don't expect you to be able to complete things as normal, do things as usual. So I judge you by your adjustment to a very strong opponent. So, no, I think they were balling. I think they all were balling, Vic. I have to give my hats off to all the teams
wait a minute.
this weekend for balling. At least they all were balling.
Oh, well, no, I agree with you. I say they're all balling. Now, per team.
Just some got a letdown.
Yeah, see, per team, I sit there and I say, let me look at the Giants. The person to me who clearly demonstrated that they were above and beyond was Eli Manning. He set an NFL record, 5th road game victory all time. So he straight set himself in an elite status in the place. Now, the defense held their own to a certain extent, but the defense of San Francisco outmuscled them.
Right.
Now,
and the Ravens have to feel like they had missed opportunities.
Right. No, let's keep it in the San Francisco Giants game, not the Ravens.
Okay.
So let me just say this. Giants balling, big time balling, big pimping. Okay.
They all balling.
Now, San Francisco in a loss.
Still balling.
Still balling. Not a letdown?
That too. Like I said, that's unfortunate, but theirs is a lot less of a letdown.
Thank you. I agree.
A
softer landing.
If the letdown of the Ravens on a scale of 1 to 10 is 10,
right,
theirs is a 5.
I got it. See, in other words, there's
no one expected them to be there anyway. That would have been such a. Vic, they said, I didn't know this, but they said there's 5 other coaches who went to the Super Bowl in their first year, and I don't know who that was.
I can't remember.
But they said there's 5 of them.
Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl
in the first year.
I can't remember. I can't recall. But I'm going to say this. The part that I have to say is I wanted the best matchup. I looked at San Francisco, and I think they were favored to win the game. I think they were favored with maybe 3 points or so. I call 3 points like even money to me. But the bottom line is San Francisco came to play. Their defense played very well. Unfortunately, it comes back to the same thing the AFC Championship suffered from. Special teams. Kyle Williams. I'm sorry, man. You've had 2 flubs already. The first was you shouldn't have taken that kickoff and got close to the ball that touched your knee that gave the ball back to the Giants. Second one is he stripped the ball on the kick return the second time around. Imagine, Mario, you're Kyle Williams. You're responsible for not only 1, but 2 turnovers that led or guided the Giants to convert the points that possibly could have had the game tilt in your favor had you held on to the ball. Now, you don't want to give him responsibility. Who do you give
Because there's other things in any game that lead up to
We know about that philosophical stuff. There you
it's all philosophical.
Okay, but Kyle Williams flubbed 2 special team kickoffs.
Okay.
So are you the coach that says, I can't wait to have him back?
No. But that's still, it's just, in terms of how one looks at things historically, there are mistakes that were made to have the game be close.
Right. Now, I understand
That's all I'm saying.
Now, see, when they review stuff, because I love what they do, they say, you've earned the right to be on special teams. You may get 1, but everybody knows these games in the Final 4 series go, the ones who commit the fewest turnovers usually win. Usually,
but not always.
Not always,
so,
but we know.
And
so San Francisco sitting up there going.
They used to have a better defense to be going to the Super Bowl. What happened to all that shit?
Wait a minute.
All of a sudden,
wait a minute. They got a good defense.
Look like the New England. Oh, now they're good defense. See, all season long, they talking about how New England defense, what they ate.
Can we stay San Francisco 40?
I'm just back to you guys' general way you build up these would-be controversies.
What about politics? Would-be politicians?
Same thing.
See, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
See, politics.
Thank you.
Mimic sports.
There we go.
Dick and sex.
Right. My diss is still finalized. I'm glad you captured it.
Someone is always the winner, someone's the loser.
Right, look, stop finalizing. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to rate what we thought was the top quarterback performance of all four.
I thought we went off from that.
Oh, no, not yet. No, see, I just got the stats there to show readable stats for those who need it, because there were no overwhelming quarterback statistics. This wasn't a game where you had a high percentage of conversion and completions. You had the most thrown balls by Eli Manning, but when it came down to completion percentage, this was a defensive game where you can see the defense is stepping up, and it's true, defense really contributes heavily to winning championships. So the question comes to me is rating the best quarterback performance in a win or loss. Doesn't matter if they lost, but who stepped up? Rate your 1 to 4, Mario, if you had to give an order. It doesn't have to be
Eli Manning to me.
Okay, number 1?
I think so.
Number 2?
Joe Flacco.
Okay, number 3?
Tom Brady.
Number 4 is Alex Smith.
You
know what? Exactly duplicate. That's what I had. I had Eli Manning, Joe Flacco, because he did not only did he not maintain the game, but he put them in wonderful positions to score even more. And then I looked at Tom Brady and said, you didn't have, he even said, I sucked. He said that in a post interview.
Yeah, but even though he's talking like that, he didn't really totally suck.
Oh no.
And you know what, Alex Smith wasn't as that's still a credible performance under the duress that he was presented to me. Actually, he's proven some stuff to me this year. So
yeah, no, and I'm just saying they say you have the Brady radar, and when Brady says against what I usually do and how I perform, seeing him miss passes, throw short. He just said, I'm just telling you what. I know for him, he says, I could have done better. That's all. That's
but
all
I'm sure that the opposing team had something to do with that.
Yes,
in other words, sometimes you could be at your best, but you're at a defense and other players who are going to make it so you can't be your best.
Right, and they even admit, even the coaches, even former coaches said, there's one team that has New England's number when it comes to playing the quarterback Tom Brady, and that's the Ravens.
I mean, they did a lot of the things that it takes to cause him problems.
Right.
They did. So that's to their credit, right?
Yes, sir. You hit the nail on the head. Now, since we did the ratings, who's going to win the Super Bowl and why?
And why do we have this picture for that question?
Wait a minute.
This is what I'm saying.
Hey, wait a minute. What did I do?
I'm just saying, so you asked the question who was win the Super Bowl with a picture of Tom Brady skying over for a touchdown.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you trying to say
obviously the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, you think so?
Based on this picture, based on obviously that's what you think.
I'm just showing you a post picture of the game. How are you
about as biased as sports show?
You're not really contributing to this segment.
I'm just saying, how biased can you be? Okay, I'll tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl: the Ravens.
See what I'm doing.
This visual
wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture? There's nothing wrong with this picture. This is a post
Patriots are going to win.
Memory of a game. You think Patriots are going to win?
No, I'm going with Giants.
Going with the Giants. How many?
But you
points?
know what?
Points?
Close.
How many?
I don't think no matter who you support, right? We're hovering around. No matter who you support,
right?
We're hovering around between 25 to 30 points, probably, and we're not sure. I can't see any of them winning by more than a field goal or a touchdown. And to me, it's going to be close, and I just don't know.
Right.
It's right in there to me but I think it's in the upper 20s, not in the lower 20s.
Right.
And I think that it's by a field goal or something.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Giants, look at the Ravens game and said their defense did an excellent job on Brady. And if we want to have a chance, here's the message. They did an excellent job, and they still lost. So the part that comes into play is will Tom Brady be Brady-esque, or will the Giants defense stepped up like the Giants against
That's why
San
I'm
Francisco?
thinking. That's why I'm
really
thinking
hard.
it's closer to like 30. I'm thinking it's closer to near 30 points per team scored.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and a field goal difference in the win.
Yeah, I think the part that's going to be interesting here, and let me give props to Eli Manning.
Could be a shootout.
I've never seen that much defensive penetration in the offensive backfield, and he stayed controlled. Even under the 6 sacks, he did not have happy feet. He still stayed contained. When I don't think New England can bring that kind of pressure, which means I can see Brady saying, "I'm gonna have the time." And I'm going to complete the passes. So it's going to be a matter of how the schemes roll. But if I had to look at New England and say, now this is how we get to Eli, I said, but we are not the San Francisco Giants. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be more of a scoring fest.
Got to be a good Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Either or worse.
And I can't wait to sit back and watch it.
I'm done.
I can't wait. Man.
That's all right. Now, who's going to be Big Pimpin'? Well, Mario's Big Pimpin'.
Big Pimpin' is Victor Allen's new Sportz. Hot, heavy, and neo-urban. Victor Allen's new looking Sportz. Yeah. Go home and tell your mom.
I would.